Etna wasn't always unpredictable. There was stretches of time when she figured out how to look and act like the kind of person a mother was expected to be. Cecilia sensed this wasn't easy for her. She saw it. Sometimes it's in the way Etta hands shook nervously when another mother knocked on the door and said hello, or when Cecilia asked for a bite in her hand, but nobody was scrutinizing Etta by then. The truth was they are given up, and yet sometimes inside her made it that want to try anyway. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But Cecilia who thought for her each and every time. When Cecilia was in the sixth grade, there was a school dance after holiday break, and she had nothing to wear. They didn't go to church or didn't celebrate much. This wasn't something Cecilia cared or complained about, but Rita said she would make her something special to wear. Cecilia was speechless. She never seen her mother to make a thing. The next day, Rita came from the public students car upstairs. Cecilia come see. She laid out a tissue paper pattern for shifters and yard of yellow cotton. Cecilia stood still while Ita measured her long, skinny body, one so unlike her own. Cecilia felt like she was being watched by a stranger as her mother's hands planted inside of her leg. Cause her thin waist and up to the shoulder. Ita would pull down the measurement and napkin and declared that the test would be beautiful. There was an odd sewing machine in the hall also from the owner before then, and Etta brought it to the kitchen table. She worked on the desk in the evening for 5 straight nights, and old man motor kept Cecilia awake until the early hours. In the morning, there be stone spans and a bit of thread spread across the kitchen. Etta would come down, her eyes wide and stare at the fabric in her appreciated the project give Etta a purpose that she hasn't seen her mother have before. And was and was continue for the anger and the sadness. In the morning, Jessica was wake up early, went to see her own with the dress. It was finished, pressed and wrapped on, and she held it up to years older and one her and folded the wrist and tied the tongue. She trimmed the neckline and saved a beautiful knotted snake. What do you think? I loved it. It was it I wanted to hear. Yes, but Cecilia did in fact love it. It was the most beautiful thing she had and the only thing anyone had ever made for her. She imagined walking into the class that day and watching the head of the bird turn stare in jealous disbelief. Cecilia turned her back and took off her nightgown. The zipper of her dress was stiff, but she managed to get it out and sink her legs in. She put the dress up and felt like she all against her skin. The waist was tight and the pattern had small bump, but it wasn't go any higher. She wiggled the dress on herself and tried to yank harder, but this won't move. For it my arms and go on. She touched across the dress with hand that said it was too tight. They heard sound of fabric tearing. Come here, Etta yanked her close pulled the target on her like she was dressing doll. She whipped this down to the yard and tried to pulling off her head. Etta didn't say a word. She yelled at her when gone to the angel replied what he wanted. Ita's forehead was like wet sweat and her face buttoned deeper and white and so she crossed her head as tight as they could. Eventually Etta let gun stood up. You're buying the desk, Sia. Her heart sank. She couldn't possibly wear it. She couldn't even get it in 15 minutes. Cecilia come down in the kitchen wearing her boots like blue turtle. She didn't look at Etta. He had at the pick up his phone, go back and put on this. You saw. It doesn't fit, Saya Banda. You make it fit, go upstairs now. She wondered if Henry might hear her, but she put her spoon down and tried to decide now what to do. Now, Saya could tactic waiting behind her and could feel a tongue sticking in her pen. She yawned for Henry to step, hoping she had help and come down. Now was the first time she had the kind of power of Rita. She could make her angry, she could make her lose control, she could have gone upstairs and pretend to try again, but she wanted to see how Etta would go if she ignored her. They are tiding gunfire. Now I see Etta shaking and screaming again. Now every time she screamed, the light seemed to come up to her the trunk and Cecilia would see the same in her face as she had wore off. Cecilia would come to know that feeling herself many years later. Ellie came to the kitchen again as the Taman opened again. Somehow she found her way to come down and she poured him coffee, saying out of the without the dress. She waited until dark to go home in the night when she knew Henry would be there. Rita didn't look ahead. She went upstairs and saw Etta have taken the dress from her room. A few minutes later, Etta walked to her home, a yellow fabric fall in her hands. She sat near a bed and held this, take it apart and seal extra panel on the desk. It looked boxy and cool, but she had tried. You can save it for the next time. Cecilia took it from her and ran her finger over the another time, and she looked at the stiff, it was still in her hand. A few months later, she wore the dress in school and the field. She sat awkwardly in the edge of Kim's time, trying to hide just how badly it fit. Saya didn't change when she got home. She wore the dress to dinner. Her mother didn't mention it, and neither did Henry. Saya didn't wear the dress again.